episode 22 of Speak On. The Emmitt Smith episode. The who wore 22? Yeah, the Clyde Drexler, another member of the Bald Black Man Association episode.
I'm gonna be very curious to see whose name you put next week. I want to know whose name you're gonna say first, because I know two people for sure you're gonna say, and I just need to. I'm gonna be curious of whose name you say first. But we on 22.
Moses Malone, another member of the Bald Black Man Association who wore 22. Welcome Emmitt Smith, another man in the Bald Black Man Association that also wore 22. 22 is a very special number.
Look at this.
Say what?
Why? I need to know why bald men feel like they gotta let the world know that they bald and proud. My dad is bald. You clearly are bald. There are plenty. My thing is, as a bald man, you don't have to say you're bald. We're looking at your damn head. We know you're bald. We see the reflection. Just, why? Who is shaming bald men? And I want to know why.
You know who's shaming us? Mainstream media is shaming us, because every time I turn around, there's a commercial about, are you going bald? Don't go bald. Use this to help grow your hair. There's nothing wrong with coming home. It's something. Not all of us can have hair, and a lot of us struggle, and especially I struggle with it for a long time. Like sometimes you need someone to tell you to come on home. So it's okay to come home, guys. There are plenty. Here's the deal, especially for bald black men. This is the deal we made a long time ago. If you lose your hair as a black man and you have to shave, you will not age. That is the deal. Name a bald black man that looks his age. He does not exist. I'm gonna look like this forever.
Oh my goodness! Who told you this? Who told you? Shout out to the comments. Someone said y'all are my commute home entertainment. Appreciate it. Appreciate you for checking in and tapping in with us. Big time. Who is shaming? Who told you this? Who told you that if you go bald as a black man that you won't age? Because growing up, I always heard that black don't crack. Let me tell you something. I was at the pool a couple days ago. Got me a good poolside IG flick. The person that I was with, I had to reevaluate how I explain that. When the person that I was with, they were like, "Yo, put this sunscreen on." I looked at it and I was like, "What are you talking about? What do I need sunscreen for?" You're like, "It's good for your skin." And I just looked at it and I said, "Baby, black don't crack. Black don't crack." Now, did I put some of that sunscreen on? Just a smidge, just to protect these tats, because people, when you put when you invest some art on your skin, you want to protect your investments. I put a little sunscreen on, but I don't want to go too crazy on it, because I firmly believe that black don't crack. I look at my skin now, I got really good skin, I like to think. I'm saying black don't crack, and people ask me, "Yo, what is your skincare routine? Like what do you do to maintain such good skin?" And I just tell them, water, Cetaphil, and minding my damn business. And people don't ever hear me, especially that last part, that minding my damn business part. They don't ever want to hear. They want to be in everyone else's business. Oh, why Nick Cannon got so many babies? Why do you give a damn? Why do you give a damn about how many babies Nick Cannon got?
Well, Nick Cannon has more babies this year than the number of months in this year. That's a very fascinating story. I am intrigued by the number of
kids. And I'm saying, if the brother can take care of his kids, well, who are we? Why should we care? If we, you know what? Why should we care? Why should we care? Why should we care? For me,
it's not a form of judgment. It's more of intrigue. Like, one, at some point, you just got to say, man, Trojans are $7. Or you just get the snip. And do whatever you want. Go crazy.
If he can afford to have all these kids, who are we? Nick Cannon, if you watching this, Nick Cannon, I don't give a damn what the world says. And I know you don't give a damn what the world says. You do you. If you can afford to have these kids and these women are aligned with having these kids, you do you, bro. Your maternity pictures are looking incredible, Nick Cannon. Don't listen to the internet. The internet is full with bitter-ass people. I'm telling you right now. I know you don't listen to the internet, but I'm here telling you right now, the internet's filled with bitter-ass people. You know who I really think hate on Nick Cannon the most? The people who up and down can't get pregnant if they try to. The people nobody even want to impregnate. You know what? It's not honesty hour. It's not honesty hour. I'm gonna let you go. Because it's not honesty hour right now.
Oh, but back to being bald and black. This is some homework for the people listening. Google every famous bald black person, or look at a bald black person, and tell me if you think they've aged. Tell me what you think their age really is, and then look up their real age. Look up Samuel L. Jackson's age.
I almost said Samuel L. Jackson earlier when you mentioned bald.
Mm-hmm. Look at the Rock. He looked the same as he did when he was the Brahma Bull. He was rock bottom man.
No.
I mean the return, like guitar playing Rock.
Because you know that like late 90s, early 2000s, Rock had a full head of hair.
No, I'm talking about
WWE. He literally went into the hyperbolic time chamber, pumped himself up with muscles, and now he's this super duper just jacked dude. Could you imagine, could you imagine being a regular person on the street who didn't know who The Rock was and then tried to run up on The Rock?
Well, that's your problem. You run that same dude who allegedly ran up on Aaron Donald. You're like, you deserve whatever you get.
Wait,
what? No, that wasn't the case. Remember that story like 6 weeks ago? A dude said Aaron Donald beat him up, and it turned out that Aaron Donald actually saved him from like 5 people was beating him up in the street.
Oh, yeah. Hey, my man took an ass whooping for no reason. He threw the bottle. He threw the bottle across the club. It hit Aaron Donald and them, and then he was surprised when his ass got whooped. Okay, let me tell you something. But that is just a microcosm of the world we live in. People will provoke you to the point where you got to whoop their ass to teach them a lesson. Then they get mad when you whoop their ass and teach them said lesson. I digress.
The Bible says punishment is, how people don't like punishment, but it's good for them.
Right. Hey, my brother, let them know who the show is brought to them by. Let them know.
The show is brought to you by goingfor2.com. Head over to, excuse me, got a frog in my throat. Head over to goingfor2.com for all your fantasy needs in any league. Get your parlays right. The finals are starting. Get your betting advice. Fantasy, this is the last month without football until 2022. We are churning out content daily to get you ready for your drafts that are coming up. And also week-to-week fantasy advice. So head over to goingfor2.com. Get your mind right. Football season is on the horizon.
I'm glad you said that sentence. This is the last month.
Yes, sir.
Because this is the last month I got to stay quiet with my Packers takes. I have been mad. I don't know if you noticed. I've been mad silent on my Packers takes all summer because I got to let this summer play out. I
was going to say something tonight, sneak wise, but I'll save it.
You saw my man's comment earlier. He said he's not unhappy with his boss.
Tom Brady, on the other hand, down in Tampa Bay,
Tom Brady. I'm starting to realize Tom Brady petty. Tom Brady petty. He know what he doing.
Tom is stirring the pot.
You petty.
Tom taking out his number one opponent. Tom taking out the competition. I love it.
Tom, you petty. Leave my man alone. Tom know. He don't want to smoke with A-Rod that much. He trying to avoid him, but you petty, Tom. I respect it, though. You ready to get into it, my brother? You ready?
Let's do it. Let's get it.
All right. So, of course, the finals are here, people. The Phoenix Suns will be taking on the Milwaukee Bucks for the right to be called champion. Please, I know no one out here expected this finals, but we're here and we're excited for it. The big news right now, of course, Giannis's knee. I know y'all saw he hyperextended it in the series against Atlanta. He's questionable tonight for game 1. Danny Ocean, I'm going to start with you. Who wins the title and how many games does it take?
So this is a 2-part question. If the Bucks can split this series and head back to Milwaukee 1-1, the Bucks will win in 6. If Phoenix goes up 2-0, they will win in 5. And I don't care about Giannis's knee plays a role in this. Absolutely. I would not play Giannis tonight. I would see if Chris Middleton and gang can catch the Suns off an extended break. If they're rusty, maybe steal game 1. And then maybe there's not a pressure to play Giannis game 2, and we don't see Giannis till game 3, and he's as close to 100% as we're going to see him for the rest of the year. That's the best case scenario for Milwaukee. What I think is going to happen, I think Devin Booker is going to come out tonight and establish himself as that dude. I think Phoenix is going to win tonight. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to let this slip through their fingers. Tonight is Devin Booker's coming out party. I mean, this entire playoffs since the bubble last year has been his coming out party, but tonight tonight is Devin Booker's coming out party to America. Like America will know his name after tonight.
I'm going to start by saying I like the Phoenix Suns to win this series in 6 games. I'm with you. I think tonight Devin Booker comes out and does very similar to what he did game 1 against the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. I think he comes out. Excuse me, that's the busy. It's running through me, people. Takes get a little spicy because I got a little alcohol in my system. But I like Devin Booker to come out to give me a 30 burger tonight. A 30.
30?
I like between a 30 to 40 point performance. I think Chris Paul is going to put in a solid, 20 points, 8-9 assists. I like DeAndre Ayton to really do his thing. I think on the Bucks side, I'm with you. I think the Suns win tonight, but I do think the Bucks can win game 2. And I think if the Suns win tonight, I think Giannis is definitely going to return the game for game 2 because they know they don't want to go back to Milwaukee down 0-2, with their season on the line, trying to avoid an 0-3 deficit. So I think, Giannis will come back game 2 because the Suns will win game 1. But ultimately, I like the Suns in 6, man. I like the Suns in 6. I think the way this Suns team has been playing has been really impressive. I know, me being a Lakers fan, I was a little salty because they hadn't played anyone healthy, and they still haven't. But I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna ride the magic of the Suns train, the momentum they've got. They've been playing some really good basketball. But I don't want to take no credit away from the Bucks because the Bucks are a good team. I mean, they're a resilient team for one. That Middleton and Drew Holiday, those last couple games against Atlanta, they're starting to really figure it out even without Giannis. I think Middleton has really established himself as the closer for this team, which is that's his role, man. That is what he needs to be. Giannis can take all the spotlight. Chris Middleton, when it's crunch time, get the ball to Chris Middleton. Don't give it to no Giannis. You put the ball in Drew Holiday's hands and help him set up Chris Middleton to take a game-winning shot. That's how I think, in closing situations, the Bucks should be doing it. I love Giannis. I ain't got no, I think if let's just say the Bucks win with a ring on his resume, that Giannis, look, that resume gets,
He's won every major. If he wins Finals MVP, that's every major award before 26. How old is Giannis? 25.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if he does that, it's hard to really slander because it's like, all right, dog, you didn't get it all. You salute. So I like the Suns in 6. I think they're gonna win tonight, and then we'll see. But this is the NBA. Who the fuck knows, man? Who knows?
Let me ask you this then. He's 26. If they win the finals and he wins Finals MVP, does he start entering the GOAT conversation? He's a 2-time league MVP. He'd have a Finals MVP. He'd have a Most Improved Player. He's won Defensive Player of the Year, right? Like he's won everything. Like did he win Rookie of the Year?
I don't think he won Rookie of the Year, but
yeah, I think that's the one he's not having. He doesn't have.
I don't think he has. But like one of the greatest basketball players ever? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, if they win a championship, Milwaukee, and he wins Finals MVP, does he enter that? Not enter the GOAT conversation, but would he be on the cusp of that? Well, I don't know. Would he enter the GOAT conversation? Because that is a very GOAT-like career, only to be 26 years old.
I'm with Jeff. I think Giannis would need a lot more to be a GOAT. I'm going to throw one out there. I'm going to say it like this. If Kevin Durant wins another championship and Finals MVP, I think Kevin Durant deserves to be in the GOAT conversation.
I think he's in there now. I'll say it.
He could. I mean, I'm not
going to in there.
That. He's already the greatest offensive player we've ever seen. I mean, I think we both can agree with that. So I think right now in the GOAT conversation, who do we normally have? Bron, MJ. Who else?
Kobe. The real GOAT, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem, that's 4. I mean, that's your Mount Rushmore of GOATs, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to throw Magic in there.
No. Kareem is the greatest basketball player to have ever played basketball, and there really is no conference. Again, Kareem leads the entire league. Like, he is number 1 on the all-time scoring list, and he shot 0 threes. He did it with a sky hook. Like, Kareem's the best basketball player to ever walk this planet.
That is filthy when you think about it. Like you just
Like,
couldn't stop this man.
You could. This man had his way with you every single time he got on the court. A man who never shot a 3-pointer, still, even with Steph Curry on this planet shooting threes at the clip he's shooting them, still hasn't caught Kareem. Like Kareem's dominance, like Kareem's the GOAT. Like to me, like it's Kareem and it's no one else. Jeff asked us a question: how far does CP3 rank for point guards if he wins? I don't know. I feel like at this point, either you like Chris Paul or you hate Chris Paul, and the ring isn't going to sway you one way or the other.
Chris Paul can act like a Mitch sometimes with the flopping, but we're looking at pure basketball
and kicking people in the nuts.
Right now, I would say I have him top 5.
I could do top 5
if he wins a ring. Top 4.
Yeah, like I think we all recognize
Magic's the greatest. We can agree Magic's the greatest point guard.
Yes.
Oscar Robertson.
Yep.
Number 2.
Go ahead and throw the big O in there.
Steph Curry, easily my number 3. And then if Chris Paul would a ring, that put him number 4, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of point guards off the top of my head, and I really can't see.
I'm glad we can agree. Steph Curry, solid number 3. Like solid number 3.
Oh, see, now we're forgetting about Isaiah Thomas.
He can round out my top 5. Well, he would have 2 rings, but I would kind of take Chris Paul over Isaiah Thomas, respectfully speaking.
Let's see, Nate Archibald. I mean, there's some, you could, and if before anyone says no, Jeff, we're not putting John Stockton in nothing. No, sir. I was about to say someone gonna bring up John Stockton. No, sir. Utah Jazz.
Stop who? That anti-vaxxer? Get out of here.
No, sir. No, John Stockton. John Stockton is like 6 or 7, if we're being like honest, right? Like John gets his respect, but no Utah Jazz player ever is top 5 in anything.
Yo. People said, John Stockton was definitely top 5 until he decided to come out to be an anti-vaxxer. Get him out of here.
I saw too. It was like he saw Jordan perform in the flu game and hasn't believed it. He's been questioning it ever since.
Son, do you know how sick I'd be? Yo, this man came out here basically hungover. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, he was hungover. He was not sick.
He didn't have no damn flu. Jordan came to the game hungover, gave my team buckets in the NBA Finals. Yeah, ain't no flu. You don't with me either.
My question is, like, why didn't someone just give Jordan an IV?
Bro,
like, man, he was just dehydrated.
He didn't know much about IVs, especially with AIDS and whatnot running around. Jordan saw Magic catch the got and was like, an IV? No, sir. You ain't sticking the damn thing in me.
not here in Utah. Give me this Gatorade, and I'm. Y'all not sticking nothing to me during the whiteout.
You think y'all racist sticking what up in me? Yeah, fuck out of here. The brown bottle.
The brown bottle flute.
Hey man, look, I'm gonna be honest too. If I was a professional basketball player and this brother who was basically hungover came out and gave me buckets and was half dead doing it, I promise you, I'm not believing in any type of flu from there on out for the rest of my life. I bet you John Stockton heard about COVID. He had flashbacks of all them finals.
He said, if Jordan ain't caught it yet, it don't exist.
It don't exist. All right. Let's speaking in the realm of sports. We know that the finals are going to be on ESPN ABC. Speaking of ESPN, over the weekend, an audio was leaked of ESPN host, journalist Rachel Nichols feeling a little salty about Maria Taylor being selected to cover the NBA Finals. Excuse me, this is busy. I finished it, y'all, by the way. Basically labeling the Maria Taylor selection as a diversity hire, despite, Maria's athletic history and her history of covering a number of high-profile sporting events in her career. Like you could not have watched the college football playoff. You couldn't have watched the college game day. A lot of big-name sporting events Taylor's face. So, Danny Ocean, I'm coming to you with this question. Do you think sports media outlets are hiring more people of color for diversity hires, or do you think that people of color are beginning to get the recognition and value that they deserve, and what they bring to the table?
So this is kind of like a very layered question. To answer the question directly, I think people are being hired as diversity hires, and companies are then realizing, oh wow, these people are really, really, really talented. Like when we talk about ESPN, who are the most talented people at ESPN right now? Like name off the top of it, L. Duncan, Malika, Bomani, Dominique. Yeah, like Ryan Clark, Swagoo, like the people who are on camera the most.
Perkins, their job is to entertain and analyze. No matter which side of the spectrum, entertain and analyze.
We're not gonna talk about Kendrick Perkins. He trying to make Carry On stick, and it's not gonna stick. Like he needs to let that. He needs to let that die. Like for him, and not to go off topic, but every time he says Carry On, he feels like it's Mike Breen saying Bang, and it has it's nowhere in the same.
Give it some time. I bet you
Bang is special.
First couple bangs, everyone was like, "What are you talking about? Bang? What are you banging?"
Bang is special because Mike Breen brings it out at the right time. He does not say bang after a shot in the first quarter. Like Perk will be like, Kyrie is the best point guard on the Nets. Carry the hell on. Like, no, we know he's the best point guard on the Nets, dog. Like, Carry On needs to be saved.
Give it some time.
No, I will not come around to Carry On. But back to especially the Rachel Nichols event. It's unfortunately, I think it's something that people of color have always known. Like last year after the George Floyd murders, and you had the summer of protest and all these companies saying, we hear Black voices, we support you, we'll do whatever we can to put you in positions to succeed. I think a lot of us were like, we've heard this before, holler at me in a year or two and let's see where you're at. And Rachel was one of them. She got on the jump and she was very adamant about supporting Black people. And, and here we are. She gets caught on a hot mic saying that Maria
from a year ago, by the way.
It happened. Yeah, like it happened a year ago. And it's like, how authentic are our quote unquote allies? And I think it's something. I mean, I wasn't surprised. I was more surprised that ESPN let this simmer for an entire year than what she actually said. Because there's nothing that shocks me anymore when it comes to stuff like this, right? And the fact that she's called a diversity hire, let's be real. Maria is better at Rachel at her job. There's a reason Maria's on NBA Countdown. Like NBA Countdown has been in shambles for years trying to keep up with TNT. And now they have the right mix. And who is it? It's Taylor, Woj, Jalen, and Jay Williams. And now the support came through in her contract. Her contract expires on the 20th of this month. She's not going to re-sign ESPN. There's no way she can re-sign ESPN. ESPN has to pick between Rachel Nichols or Taylor, and they're going to pick Rachel. So her time is up. So you just finally got NBA Countdown right.
Which is crazy.
Which is insane.
Which
is absolutely so. You finally find the chemistry you wanted to compete with Turner. It's about as good. Nothing's going to beat Chuck and Shaq. Like that's unmatched. But this is the closest.
These guys are they're just hilarious. Like they could,
they're
go up there and not really talk about basketball and just have regular conversations, and people would still watch it because it's that damn funny. So
right, like you're not going to get first, but you can fight for second. And now you have the second best NBA pregame and postgame show, and you ruined it because Rachel said something she wasn't supposed to say, and you didn't nip it in the bud then and there. And the irony is Rachel was afraid that a diversity hire would take her spot, and Malika Andrews comes and takes her spot as the NBA Finals sideline reporter. So if that's her punishment, and the last thing, and then I'll let you go, like the apology yesterday, right? Like that was so bogus. It was 25 seconds. It wasn't, I'm not here to say what's in someone's heart and if they're authentic or not. It just didn't hit with me. It was like, all right, y'all got me, my bad. I respect her. Meanwhile, she's not returning your calls. Like she don't want to talk to you at all. And then ESPN put in Perk and Richard Jefferson up there. It was a terrible look. right? Because now they're in a compromising position. Like Rachel should have been on camera by herself, and she needed the whole first block to explain herself. Like it shouldn't have been 20 seconds. My bad. So Devin Booker is here. Let's talk to, like, no, she needed to really either they needed to keep her off camera for the rest of the season and come back next year and try again, or she needed that first block to explain herself in front of a camera by herself.
Yeah, I'm gonna start by answering the question. Do I think sports media outlets are hiring more people of color for diversity hires, or are they recognizing the value? I'm with you. I think it starts as a diversity hire, and I think once you put some of these people of color in positions to succeed, you realize, they're not only are they hard workers, but they're damn good at what they do, and sometimes they're a million times better than their white counterparts. Going back to your statement on Rachel Nichols' apology, you know what apology reminded me of? You ever seen the episode of The Office when Dwight had to go up to the front of Dunder Mifflin and apologize? And what'd he say?
He said, I apologize. That's it. Like he wrote it down. He was like, I apologize.
He took out a note and said, I apologize. Then closed the note. And Jim was like, you couldn't add anything else onto that? Like, you couldn't put any more meat on that? That's basically how I feel. It was like, I heard this dry ass apology and I was like, son, you sound like a dude who just got caught cheating on his girl, but didn't really care about the girl. Right. That's my bad.
Or better yet, that wasn't me.
Yeah, like why are you checking up on? At first, the apology was dry for one, and I'm with you. It was like, if this was dead ass your apology, why even do it? You was better off let's just get into basketball. Like you was better off just ignoring and getting into basketball. Yeah. So going back to your point on Maria Taylor. If they are really going to choose between Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor, and they're going to go with Rachel Nichols, what are you going to do about College Game Day? What are you going to do about the coverage of the women's NCAA tournament? What are you going to do? She has a Heisman vote. So what are you going to do about your Heisman watch coverage? I mean, doesn't she have a finals? She has not a finals. She has an MVP vote as well. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you have, to your point, NBA Countdown, I don't know if it's ever going to get to the inside the NBA crew because they are who they are and they've solidified their spot as the best NBA pregame show out there. So you're really trying to create a strong platform to be a solid, I don't want to say number two, but a solid, like you got a good chemistry. You got Jay Rose, you got Jay Will in there to fill in the former player analysis part. You got Woj as the insider. Maria keeps them all aligned, and the chemistry is good, right? Now, I know Rachel Nichols, she has the jump. Maybe she felt like, hey, I can do the jump, and I could probably do a little bit more if I had more opportunities. But boo-boo.
Oh, not boo-boo.
You can't compete where you don't compare.
There. See, that's the thing, right? Like when we talk about Rachel, she observes the culture. Taylor lives and breathes it. Same with Cassidy, same with Malika, same with Lisa Salter, same with Elle Duncan. Like there's something to be said about a spectator of the culture and get to commentate on it like Rachel. And then there's something about people who understand and live and breathe basketball culture, right? Because NBA culture pushes pop culture, like NBA. There's a reason we watch players.
There's a reason why over the weekend James Harden was with Lil Uzi Vert, Meek Mill, Jay-Z, Rick Rubin hanging out in the Hamptons partying at the all-white party. It's because Guess what? They love watching James Harden hoop. James Harden loves their music because hip hop and black culture is very synonymous with the NBA. 80% of
Allen Iverson.
Yes, very much due to Allen Iverson's and his influence. Why he's probably one of the most influential players ever. So it's like, it's like, yeah, Rachel Nichols, and I'm not here to say Rachel Nichols is a bad job at her job. She does a good job. Like I don't ever mind seeing her.
She has a place in the sport.
Yeah,
it's just not as big as Taylor's. It's just not as big as Taylor.
Yes, like you could just like anytime you watch the NBA. I mean, the NBA count, you see the chemistry that, four have between Maria, J. Will, J. Rose, Woj. It's just natural and it flows. Yeah. And you see the good vibes. And you can even hear, you even heard J. Rose and J. Will even saying, yo, she needs to get paid because she does. You think people just vouch for people to get paid because they don't think they should get paid? Nah. My coworker is damn good at his job. Yo, pay my man. Stop playing. Give my man his check.
Like, imagine what that says to your Black employees, that you have someone like Taylor who is the absolute best at her job and you're picking Rachel Nichols over her. Because that's what it's going to come down to. I don't know if this can be resolved. Like, ESPN, I feel like, is going to have to make a choice between Taylor and Nichols. And also, it should be noted that what is the producer that got punished for giving Taylor the video? What is her name? It's Braxton.
I know what you're getting ready to say. And I was like, yo, what? You punished her?
Yeah. Gosh, what is her name? If research is here, can someone please tell me that name?
Where's research? Ka.
Yeah, where are you, Kyle? What's her name?
Kyle.
I can't. I feel so bad. I can't remember her name. But the fact that she's the only person that's been punished throughout this entire ordeal is just reflective, and that's going to tie into our next topic of how people, specifically women of color, are treated in sports.
Oh man, it's unbelievable. All right, moving away from basketball and the NBA a little bit. Actually, here's my last thing, people. Here's my last thing on the NBA Finals. So last week I told you I had a parlay. It didn't hit per usual because they don't ever hit. Today, people, I have a risk-free parlay for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. I put $5 down to win $5.97. Let me take y'all through the four legs of this parlay. PJ Tucker, 3+ made threes. Devin Booker, over 28.5 points. Chris Middleton, over 25.5 points. And the Phoenix Suns to win by 1 to 10 points. If all four of these legs hit, I win $5.97. So you know what that means. None of them will hit, or three out of the four will hit.
All of them will hit.
Yo,
Caleb.
Yo, if all four of these hit, drinks on me. I promise you, I got you with a drink.
Say less. They all gonna hit. By the way, Kayla Johnson is the name of the producer that was punished at ESPN.
But let's get into our third subject. So I don't know if you guys heard, but track superstar and Olympian Sha'Carri Richardson tested positive for marijuana and has to serve a 30-day ban. It was also announced right before we came on the air that she was not selected for the 4x100 meter relay, which means she will not be going to Tokyo, participating in the Olympics. Danny Ocean, I'm heated about this, so I'm going to let you start. Let me know your thoughts on this.
I'm just as angry. Like, when she got the 30-day ban, I was like, it's stupid, but fine, right? Like, rules are rules, whatever. So Sha'Carri, like, the reason she tested positive for marijuana is because a reporter informed her that her mother had died, and that's how she coped. She went to smoke marijuana, which
in the state of Oregon, where it is legal. Let me preface that. Go ahead.
Which, by the way, there are far more worse things you can do than go smoke a joint. She
tested positive. On crack. She wasn't on meth.
She wasn't doing the heroin. She wasn't doing the booger sugar. Like, she wasn't
on the cocaine.
All she did was smoke a little weed, and she got the 30-day ban. She went on Good Morning America. She accepted responsibility. Yeah, that's on me. Like a G, right? Like, okay, it sucks. It's a terrible situation to be in. We wash our hands. See you at the 4x1. Now, the fact that the U.S. track and field didn't select her. And again, like, it's starting to, like, another arc about how women in color, both in front of the camera and athletes, are treated, right? Like Naomi Osaka, the tennis board threatened her by withdrawing her if she didn't talk to the media. The Olympics banned swim caps for women with natural hair, like black women with natural hair. They said it doesn't fit a normal head, right? Like that's the loudest dog whistle for black people in genetics, like right, like that's Jim Crow stuff. That's blackface stuff, right? And now we have
DJ was good.
this punishment. Like I get the Olympic board, right? Because the Olympic committee, they don't care that she was smoking weed in a legal place. Some kid in Russia can't get high right now, right? Okay, again, I don't like the rule. It should be abolished or at least looked at. But the fact that the United States of America Track and Field Association was like, no, we don't want one of the biggest stars in the country running the 4x1 relay. Like, are you serious? Who is replacing her? Tell me her credentials. And you're more in the track and field than I am.
Well,
who is this woman that is replacing her?
So the people that they did put on the 4x1, how they end up choosing the 4x1 is in direct correlation to the results of the 100 most of the time. So it's usually probably like the top 4 to 6 people who finish in the 100, I believe, get selected for the 4x1 just so they have some alternates. So like the people who got selected, they're not slow by any means. Like there's still some women, but I'm gonna let you finish.
Are they fast as Richardson? Because she won.
I mean, no one's as fast as Sha'Carri because.
So you are going to potentially. I think it's Sha'Carri. I think it's Sha'Carri because I keep saying Sha'Carri and that's wrong. It's Sha'Carri and PJ. Yes, the Olympic board did ban swim caps made for women, specifically black women with natural hair.
Yeah,
it said because and dog.
So I mean, are they as fast as Sha'Carri? No, because she
won,
and it wasn't close.
So you are going to potentially risk winning gold because she smoked a joint to cope with her mother's death. If that ain't the most American shit I ain't ever heard in my life, I don't know what is. We not gonna let that. Come on, dog. Like my heart breaks for her. Like I was sad for.
I was sad when I heard about the original 30-day suspension because I'm like, yo, y'all was sweeping Michael Phelps' weed thing under the rug for a minute.
That is apples to oranges, right? Because he did that in a non-Olympic year, and he paid. I mean, didn't Usain Bolt lose a gold medal in a relay race because one of his teammates tested positive? Like, didn't Jamaica lose a gold medal?
Yeah, because
of something similar.
And I was like, yo, that's ridiculous. You're gonna take away, you're gonna take away someone else's medal because someone else was on the stuff. But
that's some NCAA rule right there.
My thoughts of this is just complete bull. Like, okay, yes, there are rules in place. Sha'Carri, in 2020 hindsight, yes, she could have been moving a little bit more carefully. She could have. People, there are ways to beat a weed drug test. I'm gonna throw that out there. There are ways to beat a weed drug test. She could have been moving a little bit more smartly. Yes, fair. Rules are rules. Yes. But come on, man. USA. Y'all know y'all done swept a lot of dirty shit under the rug.
You let a doctor run wild on the U.S. women's gymnastics team.
Hey, man, I ain't want to say
harassing women for years.
I ain't want to say it. Like USA, y'all have swept a lot of dirty shit under the rug. And this won't even this isn't even cheating. Like this, if it came out that she was on some PEDs, I'd be like, all right. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But she's smoking a little reefer, a little loud pack.
That's it. To cope with her mother's death.
Come on, man.
Like the USA would rather her go to a bar, get hammered,
which is
DUI, which is worse.
Which
is 100% worse compared to just sitting at home smoking a J.
So okay, I was upset about her being taken out of the Open 100, which and then on top of that, she was the biggest. She was a top 3 draw in terms of like bringing people to watch the Olympics on the women's side. On the women's side, I mean,
in general, like I don't know any male Olympians. I know.
I don't know. I know some male Olympians.
Well, I don't follow track. Like as someone who is a casual fan, like I don't know any of the male track runners. Like I know her, and I know USA basketball, and I know there's a black guy who's a fencer who's like a boss. I guess those are only 3.
I did.
Yeah, I saw something today. Like he's apparently like this. I mean, he had like the goal. Like I'm very intrigued. But yeah, like she's a draw. Like you're gonna have a hard time with ratings anyway because it's in Tokyo. Like this is the one shot you know. It doesn't matter if she's running at 2 a.m. People are going to get up and watch.
Yeah. Like, what I think what frustrates me the most is like, okay, if you're going to enforce the rules and say she can't run the open one, okay, why don't you want her on the 4x1?
Exactly.
As a track and field, former track and field runner and a track and field fan, the only thing more exciting than the open 1, the open 4, the open 2, the 400 hurdles is the 4x1 and the 4x400 meter relays.
That's why it's last.
And shout out to my distance runners. I don't want y'all to think y'all's events aren't exciting. The 800 is an exciting race to watch. After that, it's just like, okay. But respect, because them distance events, they will whoop your ass. Like, shout out to my distance runners out here, because y'all know it's all love. But like the 4x1 is probably one of the most exciting races out here. Why don't you want your fastest? Why don't you want quite literally the fastest woman in the country, to be on that?
It makes no sense.
USA. Like, all right, USA, y'all gonna keep sweeping. If y'all gonna, pick and choose who you really want to apply the rules for, USA track and field. All right, all right. Yep. Y'all gonna be. Let me tell you something, USA track and field. Y'all know what would be really sick. What if we get to when's the next Olympics? 2024.
2024 in LA, I believe.
Y'all gonna be sick, USA track and field, if 2024 come around, Sha'Carri wins the 100 again in the US Olympic trials, then decides, I actually don't even want to run for the Olympics anymore. Yep. I'm good.
Actually, 2024 is in Paris, and if she actually went and got dual citizenship somewhere else and just came, like, what if she was like, all right, I'm a citizen in Jamaica, I'm gonna go run for Jamaica, and we're gonna throttle y'all. You're not even gonna sniff gold,
man. And I'm gonna say it again. USA Olympic Commission or whatever. Y'all have swept a lot of dirty shit under the rug. And you have, you sick bastards. You dead wrong. You dead fucking wrong, and you wrong. No rules. Yeah, all right. Y'all let a white boy go out to Rio, lie about getting robbed. And then just walked away like it was scotch free. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man.
High key, that's one of the best stories. In
he went all the way to Rio, lied on some Brazilians and said they robbed him. And they was like, hey, I ain't seen nothing. Fuck out of here, USA, you bum asses. I'm still gonna be USA when it comes down to it, because I'm gonna be repping my country, but y'all dead fucking wrong, and you shiesty. Whenever old white man in charge, your time's coming. You probably won't live to see the next Olympics, you sick bastard.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
I hope Nike still gives her money though, because she's lost.
Nike said they're gonna stand by her because that's who Nike is. I'll give them their props for that. That's who Nike is. They're gonna stick by her because they should. Nike is in Oregon, dog. Nike, man.
She potentially lost millions in sponsorship deals.
Nah, you would be crazy to drop her because these next couple years we have world championships coming up. Fuck the Olympics this year. Next year we got world championships next year. You don't think that girl's gonna be running with a vengeance all next season? Yeah. Whatever. USA Olympic Association, you dead fucking wrong. You dead fucking wrong. Shout out PJ. Shout out PJ. Love you guys too. All right, PJ. I'm here to tell you right now, the Nike headquarters is not in Korea.
It is in Eugene, Oregon.
Dog. It is in Beaverton, Oregon.
Is it in Beaverton or Eugene? Oh, the University of Oregon is in Eugene.
University of Oregon is in Eugene. The Nike headquarters is in Beaverton, which is like 30 minutes from Portland. So you can basically say Portland. It's the same thing.
Okay.
All right. Last thing before we get out of here. 2021 is the year of self-recognition, self-awareness. So I'm here to tell y'all right now of a new sports curse that I think is taking over the sports world right now. And that is the Losdeemix sports curse.
What is the Losdeemix sports
Now,
curse?
people, it started earlier this year when the Green Bay Packers played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game. And before that game, even though I was a Packers fan, I proclaimed that the Packers would beat the Bucs. They did not. A couple months later, maybe a couple weeks later, I proclaimed that Clemson would beat. No. I proclaimed that Ohio State would beat Bama. They did not.
No, they did not.
Months later, I proclaimed that Baylor would not win the NCAA championship. They did. I then proclaimed, during that tournament, though, I proclaimed that the Virginia Tech Hokies would make it all the way to the Final Four. They didn't even sniff it.
No, they did not.
Fast forward to the NBA season. I said, the Lakers are going to repeat as champions. They didn't make it out the first round. Last week, I got on this show and said, I like Switzerland to win the Euro Cup. They lost the very next day. I'm here to tell y'all right now, the Losdeemix sports curse is real. I'm convinced. I'm sorry. From here on out, until this curse is broken, if you hear me pick a team, pick the other team. Pick the other team. If you see me fighting a grizzly bear in the woods, help me. Don't help the bear. Don't help the bear.
So with that being said, who do you have winning the finals this year?
I said the Phoenix Suns in 6.
Right. That means Bucks in 4. Put your money
Man, Bucks might sweep people. Look, I'm here to tell you the Losdeemix sports curse. People, I don't know what is going on, but my sports takes have been in the mud, and they have been bad. Like, bad. But I'm still going to keep picking who I'm picking, though. Because
who's going to win? Who's going to win the NFC East?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Trash. You're trash. You might be the worst person on earth.
So, when I tell y'all I have been real silent with my Packers takes this summer, it's because I'm not saying anything that's going to jeopardize my team. The only thing I've said is that I don't believe you will trade a reigning league MVP. And when I say that, people, I'm scared. I'm getting scared every time I say it. Every day I wake up, check in Adam Schefter's Twitter, praying that today is not the day. One of my good friends over the weekend said the Carolina Panthers and the Green Bay Packers have an agreement in place to trade Aaron Rodgers. I went to Adam Schefter's Twitter page immediately and just refreshed it for like 2 hours. No report ever came. I almost fought my friend.
That's a good friend. Thank you, friend.
Don't you do it. The Losdeemix sports curse, people, it will be broken. I just don't know when. PJ, what's up with the intro song? Let me tell y'all something. I have been working on a new project, a new music project. I don't know if that's going to be our intro song. I don't know if we're ever even going to have an intro song. But if I make a song titled Speak on It, we might play it. Probably not, though. And that is not a sports sports curse. That is a Losdeemix proclamation. Rodgers is going where? Rodgers.
Yeah, where is Aaron Rodgers going? Great question, PJ. I love the fan interaction.
Home to his lovely fiance because he's an incredible person. I love you, Aaron Rodgers. That's all. That's all we got today, folks. That's all we got today. Danny Ocean, let them know where they can find you on your socials.
You can find me on the Twitter machine at MadAds14. Also, we're off next week.
We're off next week. We are off next week.
We are. I will be in New Jersey visiting family. This time next week, I will probably be drunk on a beach, being escorted by police with a handful of caramel popcorn from the boardwalk at Jersey Shore.
Yeah, it's gonna be sleep by 7. Yeah, and by 7.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm old. I'm washed, baby. If I going to sleep at 7 sounds like a great idea to me.
Goodness,
I love it.
Well,
I love it.
Well, people, we will be off next week, but just know you can find me on the Twitter machine, maybe the IG machine if you're trying to look at a pretty brother, at Losdeemix, LOSDEEMIX. I think I might spend next Tuesday maybe working on a little bit of music. Let me tell y'all some people, don't think I'm making music to be a musician. I make music because it's what's the right word?
An outlet.
It's an outlet, but it's kind of like a hobby too. Like sometimes I'm just like, yo, I kind of have a song in mind, you know. Let me tell y'all something. To all my people out here, if you ever want some motivation to write a song, go out and deal with some women for a little bit, and then come back. I bet you have a range of emotions. That's all I got, Danny Ocean. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Lady, that is episode 22. Shout out to Going for Two for bringing you all this show.
Appreciate
you guys.
Jeff, love you, brother.
D, say goodbye to the people.
People, you already know, man. When you see this Nas fade, you see the waves too. When you see this Nas fade, it can only be one brother, the good brother, Losdeemix. People, don't say it. Speak on it.
Hey, we out. Peace.